Good evening. Good evening. How you guys doing out there? It's In the Spotlight podcast back live with your host Mike Mellon. Tonight I got another special guest in the house, man. These Spotlight legends been checking in, man. And tonight we got another Spotlight legend in the building tonight, RJ Cole, man. What's up, RJ, man? Thanks for stopping by, brother.
So, Mike, I appreciate you for having me on, man. It's been a pleasure.
Indeed, man. I just had Saeed on a couple weeks ago. Then I had Otis last week. Now you come through, man. It's just been a blessing to see you guys just grow up, and y'all been tearing it up out there. I'm so proud of you guys. Y'all making me feel old, though, saying you guys as grown men and interviewing you guys, man. But we had a lot of great memories, and we're going to talk about some of them tonight, man. So before we get started, I'd like to announce one of our sponsors. This episode of In the Spotlight podcast has been brought to you by A Game Hoops. Check out my man Carl at A Game if you need the hottest uniforms in the game, man, and the best tournaments in the country right now. You know what I'm saying? He definitely be having like 500-600 teams in the tournament. agamehoops.com for your tournaments, and each team that win a tournament gets a custom-made uniform set for their squad, man. So if you want the hottest tournaments out there right now, holler at my boy Carl from A Game, man. So RJ, let's get started, brother. Talk about growing up in Union, New Jersey, man, and how was life growing up as a youngster?
I mean, Union, it was pretty smooth, and I feel like we had some of the best basketball players. I don't really really claim Union, New Jersey as much, but it was good. I might have my fair share of friends. I'm outside playing basketball at the park. Riding bikes or whatever I can do to stay active and just to hang around my friends and family.
So you was more down in Newark area?
Yeah, honestly, that's where I was more in the Newark area just because of where my basketball team had brought me. I spent a lot of my time out there, but again, I'm obviously from Union, so I did spend all my time in Union as well.
Indeed. How and why was the first time you picked up the rock, man?
The first time I picked up the rock, from what I can remember, was when I was 3 years old. My dad, he put the ball in my hands, and he made sure that I did everything I could when it came to basketball. I used to walk around and go to his games when he was still playing, like the 50 and over leagues, and I was still being able to, walk around with him and go to his games and support him. And doing his thing, I was on the side of the court doing my own thing. So I've always been around the game since I was a young kid, and it's brought me to where I'm at today.
Shout out to my man Rob Cole, man. That's always my guy. RJ.
Sure, that was a patented one for sure.
When did you know that you might have something special in basketball, man?
Man, it's funny because my dad tells me this story all the time. He talks about how when I played, I didn't start playing out with him at first. I was out there trying to find my niche on my own. And then it was this one particular day, I guess they weren't passing me the ball, and mind you, I'm only 3 years old. And I told him yo, I'm not getting the ball. I don't want to play. And I think going from there, to have that, that sense of awareness at 3-4 years old, to be able to know that I'm not getting the ball, I don't want to do this anymore, that, I think from that right there lit the fire under me for sure.
It lit the fire, man. And let's get into when I first met you, man. Playing with Faces, man. You know what I'm saying? Talk about the whole Faces concept with you and your dad, and what do the acronym stand for, and how did everything get started, man?
So yeah, first, FACES stands for Future Athletes Connecting Education and Sports. I feel like just that acronym itself is you can see what we were all about just from those 5 words. It was a family oriented team. We all grew up together when we started out, and we kept building. We kept building on that program and that core group that we had of 5 or 6 people. It started out, I think, just because my dad, just wanted to have an outlet for me to be able to play.
Mm-hmm.
and have somewhere, where I can say that I can play. He can coach me as well. And also too, my dad's a basketball guy, so he wanted to, develop, my friends and other players that came through to play for us. And then, like, I mean, faces it. I think that's one of the best programs to ever, be
Oh,
around.
100%. 100%. I remember first
It,
seeing y'all at the state tournament up in Perth Amboy.
yeah,
And that's when I first met your dad and told him I was going to be doing some tournaments and stuff like that. And as usual, that when I saw y'all was matching up against Tyus and them.
yeah, for sure.
Team battle, man. And talk about some of them battles, especially when y'all was 10 and 11, man.
Man, that's the crazy thing. Like, those battles were in those days were crazy. Like we had some of the best basketball players in New Jersey, obviously, in the country, really.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Going at it, as youngins, and being able to, have those same memories and be able to still today talk to, Tyus, and we can talk about those things today, because we remember all that, we
Mm-hmm.
every single time it was like we played against them every single tournament.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Always good battles. Battle was a great program. They had some really good players, notable players that are still playing overseas now, still doing their pro thing. So those battles were great, man. I do remember every single one for sure.
Indeed. Now let's take a look at when y'all got 12U ages, man. Y'all started really spreading y'all wings, doing y'all thing, man. RJ looking a little older, man. Y'all
Yeah,
won the grand finale. Talk about some of the people on that squad, man. That's when y'all had Saeed. Y'all
yeah.
had a couple other players on there, man.
That's the crazy thing. Like when I say like our core group, like it was always me, Raymond Montelis, Shaquan Gibbs, Brandon Anderson, Azor Taylor, Javon,
Mm-hmm.
all those guys. Like that was our core group. Like Ruben,
Mm-hmm.
like we had all those people. And I think like once we got Saeed, like we were always a good team. We were always trying to figure it out. We were small, undersized. Like, we used to get after it. But it's just like every year we had our core group, and then we'll add one or two pieces
Mm-hmm.
and like
Mm-hmm.
us over that hump. And
Mm-hmm.
Saeed was like a huge part of what we did that 12U year, because like he was one of the best guards out there. Like he was fast. He gets the basket. He could guard. He could score it. Like anything we needed. Like I think he just put us over that hump that year for sure.
Do you remember? I think it was either y'all 12U or 11U year. That battle y'all had with CBC down in Atlantic City. That
Sure,
was crazy.
sure. And I'm telling you, like the AAU scene back in that time, like it's like no other, man. Like I know obviously the circuit was around, I think here and there, like, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
nothing. It was nothing compared to the basketball spotlight tournaments that we used to go to, and having the chance to play against, the best in from every state. Like CBC, that battle was like that was ridiculous. Like
Yeah, that was the first time I was nervous because they crowd started going crazy. They
yeah,
had like two busloads of people, and I know we ain't have enough security. I didn't know what might go on in there. It was
that
it was crazy. Right on Atlantic City on one of them small courts.
it was like when you first walk in, it's the backcourt is the furthest.
Yep. Then was the years, man. Then
So
y'all took it on to the next years, y'all. The Killer Bees, man. Y'all
yeah,
started expanding it and taking it to that next level. Finish seventh in the nation, man. How did it feel seeing the dreams of a program that you and your father developed start to flourish into this kind of level?
man, it was great. It was like for me especially. Like obviously, I was here since the beginning. I was the
Mm-hmm.
AU team since I was like 4 or 5 years old. So like
Mm-hmm.
starting it out, obviously we had our really like tough years, and I think
Mm-hmm.
going in that 13U year, it was just like a testament of all of our hard work, developed, got better every single year, and then like that goes back to what I said about that piece. Like we were missing pieces in that
Mm-hmm.
year. We had got Jig and Mosley and
Mm-hmm.
Idris Joyner. Like we were always a small team. Like we got a big guard now, and we got a little bit more height with Idris. We also had Christian Ford. Like we had
I remember Christian came over there.
exactly like that.
Y'all definitely started spending. When did y'all get the two boys from Philly? Then
Uh,
y'all got them sixth grade or seventh grade?
you talking about Mike and Samir?
Yeah.
I want to say because obviously they're older than me, so like that might have been like sixth, seventh grade because they were on the older team.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. They was with Trey Lowe and them at first.
That might have been
Yeah,
like
yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, man. Them was the years, man. I remember just like these dudes just don't stop.
yeah.
They're all over the place, man. They and that sixth grade year, I forgot to mention that we was talking about the sixth grade year. That year, I always tell people when I went to y'all nationals in Florida, I mean in Hampton, Virginia, the nationals in Hampton, Virginia. That was probably the most talented nationals I ever been to in my life. With all of the players that was there at that time, you had Jason Tatum, you had y'all players, you had Tyus, you had Harry Giles, you had the Cowan and what's the name from DC Assault. It was like Derek Thornton. It was I never left the gym. That was like the only one where I never left the gym, man.
I think that my first year seeing Seventh Woods. Like he was
yeah, Seven Woods. It
like,
was loaded down there, bro. I still remember, and I'm trying to get him on in a couple weeks. What Raheem Felder did to DC Assault. That game.
and not a lot of people remember Rakim like that. You know what I mean?
The
like,
bully? The bully was a problem, bro.
You seen like right then and there, like it was. I don't think it's compared to anything else. Like you can't really compare it, man. Like it was way different. Like in that era.
Yeah. I think back then most of you guys were playing for these kind of teams. So it was more like playing for your area, playing for your father, playing for those kind of teams like Faces and Battle and King Street and all that kind of stuff. Then once more the sneaker stuff got involved, it kind of changed a little bit.
Sure, for
you know
sure.
what I'm saying? It's not as personal as these kind of games was. These kind of games was personal. You know what I mean? So it took it to another level, man. Then you went up and then you ended up playing with the players, man. And you went over to the I used to call them the Yankees because they used to stack up a lot of talent, man. And how was it when you finally wasn't playing for your dad no more and you was playing with a whole new group of guys and like take us through that experience?
Man, that was a different time for me. You know, I'm obviously 1 year younger than all my teammates. So like once they went to high school, I had to figure it out, like to see who I played with, went on to play with. I think I played with like 3 different teams that year. I was playing with the players. I played with Scan. I played with Boys Club. Like I was just trying to figure it out. And then eventually I ended up playing with the players. Different, you know, like players was a very, very talented group. And I'm so used to playing with a certain group of people and like we play a certain way that like once I got to the players, like I feel like I had to come out my shell a little bit more. And my own man, you know, rather than being, you know, just all right, I know we're gonna be good. Like, all right, I know I'm gonna get the ball because obviously, like, it was my team. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so I had to assert myself in a different way, and I think it helped me, and you know, it helped me grow as a player. We had a very talented team that year too. My first year with the players, I think it was like me, Leandre Washington, Jameer Harris.
Yeah, that's when the Terminator came over there.
Yeah. That was we had a stacked team and we just had to figure out we were all guards basically. You know, we had to figure it out, you know, how to play with one another. But I think that was a great experience for me just playing with them, and I've obviously played with them for the rest of my 8th grade and my high school career.
Look at Evan Winchester, man. Remember they son? Who they play for? Don't tell me. They played for out of Baltimore.
Sam Cassell.
Sam Cassell, yup. His son was nice. I gotta get his son over here. His son was nice. His son was nice, man. His son was nice. It was the year Sam Cassell and them used to come up.
Yeah.
Oh man, this joint taking me back now, man.
I played with Justin Gorham this year in pro. My second year pro. He was on my team. That's
wow.
Basketball works nowadays, man.
Yeah, man. Wow, that's man. We can't. I got to think about like we can't. I don't know if we can remake history, Evans. It was a good run, man. We can't bring it back. The game is different now. People not even into that type of stuff like that no more, man. You know what I'm saying? So, now it came time, man. No matter of fact, just give me a quick summary, man, of your experience at the Basketball Spotlight events, man. Like. Just a quick summary of how was it when you was down there, man. And
Nah.
what was some of your best memories?
I would say just like basketball spotlight gave like everybody an outlet, to
Mm,
go out and hoop and enjoy hooping in these tournaments. Like we used, I know we went to almost every tournament.
yes, I did.
These
Hmm.
same teams like came to every tournament. Like it was, like you said, it was personal. Like it was just like we wanted to get the best of one another. So like the competition was great. I think that was just some of the best basketball. And I'm appreciative of the fact that you gave everyone an opportunity, not just my team. Like you gave everyone an opportunity to showcase who they were. As
Oh, praises, man.
players. Like we definitely appreciate that. And I would say, some of my favorite moments would be like just the battles, against Team Battle, the DC Assaults, the San Pacific,
Mm.
Gauchos, the New Heights, like all those teams, like those battles itself. Those were my favorite moments. Obviously, winning the tournaments are cool and everything, but like the battles and then the relationships you build outside of that, like, cause now to this day, like I still know and still talk to some of these people that I played against when I was playing in basketball spotlight.
And that makes me feel good because, like I tell a couple of guests I had before, and as being still playing yourself, like, and I'm gonna tell you, like I told Otis, try to enjoy some of the moments
Yeah,
while you're doing it now.
yeah,
Yeah, I never really got a chance to really digest everything that I had going on at the time. I had a serious situation over my head that you guys were too young. Y'all didn't really know what was going on.
sure,
And I always had to prepare for the next event.
yeah,
So I never got a chance to sit back and be like, yo, look what you did, look what you're doing, and
yeah,
really take in and see. So that's part of the reasons why I do these podcasts too, to be able to now I can reflect on, we could talk about this kind of stuff and teams come up and names come up, and then you get to really realize, like, wow, look what we did during that time. And I like to thank you guys because y'all Team Battle, King Street, those kind of teams built the foundation of
yeah.
basketball spotlight. It ain't no basketball spotlight without you guys.
You know what I
You know
mean?
what I mean? And
Sure,
y'all had the talent to make my thing look legit. Like, yo, these really the kids that's nice. So it was like we helped each other out, man. You
sure,
get
for
what
sure.
I'm saying? Indeed, indeed. Now it's time to pick high school, man.
Yeah.
How did you end up going to North Tech?
So that's a crazy story too. Kind of like my dad going into like my 7th and 8th grade year. My dad was on the staff of like North East Side, North Tech. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so like I always had my foot in the door at North Tech. Like I always was working out there. We had AAU practices there sometime. Like so, my foot was always in the door. Um, but choosing school, I really wanted to go to St. Anthony. I enrolled in St. Anthony and everything. Like I was about to be a freshman at St. Anthony High School, but the first day of high school came when I was supposed to be at St. Anne's. I ended up going to North Tech for my first day of school instead, because I wanted to play. I wanted a chance to play my freshman year of
Mm,
varsity. I mean, everybody wants to.
smart, smart.
And I built a relationship. Obviously, I had a relationship with my dad. Of course, he was assistant coach, but
Mm-hmm.
I had a relationship with the head coach, Joe Jordan.
I
Um,
remember him from St. Pat's, man.
yeah, I mean, so I
That's
already,
my guy, man. I remember him from St. Pat's.
yep, and he wanted me to go there, and I feel like me being there a lot. Everyone thought I was going to North Tech anyway. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I just think it was a perfect situation for me just to get the experience of playing varsity. As a freshman.
Just take a look at it, man. You came in and went at it.
Yeah,
Averaged 12 points a game, helped North Tech win the state title, and you scored 26 points in the TOC versus Roselle Catholic. Like,
yeah.
take me to when you first jumped on the court. Like, you jumped right into varsity playing and starting. And how did you like adjust to that level so quick?
I think that the easiest thing for me to do was pick North Tech and play as a freshman because of playing when I was younger. I always played against older guys. Like
Mm,
my dad, we were playing in the 8th grade, and my dad would put us in the JV leagues, um,
mm-hmm,
or the varsity summer league. Like he would put us in those, um, and I appreciate that. 'Cause I think it helped me, you know,
mm.
to get better and to be ready for the next level at all times. So, but I had also had good teammates. Like I played with a great guy named Mustafa Lawrence.
I remember him. He was
Uh,
nice.
you know what I mean? Like, so just having also my teammates, so they helped me the whole year. They helped me adjust. They accepted me. They allowed me to be me. You know, they came with mistakes, obviously, as a freshman. But without all those mistakes, you know, it helped me because like now we win a state championship. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
now take me to that moment, man. State champions. Now, how did you when you at Rutgers and you on this court as a freshman, man? Take
Yeah,
me to what's going through your mind at this time.
for sure. I mean, I feel like I've played in a lot of big games. You know, up to that point for sure. I feel like in a lot of big games. Obviously, it's a different stage. You know, varsity, you know, state championship. We played Camden. Like so, the atmosphere
Yeah.
thing was crazy. You know, yeah, it was a different time. I obviously was nervous. You know, I did have my fair share of nerves in there because rightfully so. Like you want to play well, you want to win. Like all those things are going through your mind. You know, and if I'm not wrong, we were actually down to Camden, and we just came over that hump, you know, that we locked in, we looked at each other and was like, yeah, yo, we're not leaving this until we win, you know. And I kind of, me personally, I know I took a fair share of moments in that games on myself, you know. I definitely helped the team. You know, I feel like I led them to, you know, a state championship as a freshman. And not many can say that. But
Indeed.
teammates,
Indeed.
you know, so I appreciate them for sure.
Did you feel like your experience with faces and playing in like spotlight tournaments and them high level things helped you when you got to that kind of moment?
Yeah, I mean, like when you put yourself in a position, you know, to play at a high level and to play in the games that matter the most, I think with all of that, you know, eventually you have times you lose, you know, times where it's like it hurts. I think all those moments, you know, help just because like at some point, you know, you're gonna break through the adversity, and I think that moment right there was for something for sure, like where I was like, all right, here's a breakthrough, and we got the job done.
Indeed, indeed. Then after that season, you transferred to St. Anthony.
Yeah.
Now, was it tough to leave, or did you feel like, hey man, the job is done here? Now I could go over there. I got a year of experience. It's time for me to go.
It was a tough decision to leave.
Mm.
Obviously, like not many people know, but like the decision wasn't really mine. You know, like it
I
was,
know how them coals is.
you know, as, and you know, obviously, I'm happy for the decision that he made for me because it worked out, in you know, in the long run. But like obviously, it was hard for me to leave. You know, I just won a state championship. We had an opportunity to win back to back. It was funny because they won back to back the next year after I left.
Mm.
Still an opportunity to win there, you know. But you know, I think my dad seen something else for me, and he wanted more for me. Like I was working out with North Tech that whole summer before I transferred, and so I'm thinking
Mm.
back, and then I'm on an AAU trip with the players and at the EYBL Peace Jam, and I get a call like, "Yo, you're transferring to St. Ant's," and I'm like, I'm happy, of course, because like I'm going to St. Anthony's. Like I just came off a great freshman year at North Tech. I'm going to play with,
Mm.
and like I'm excited. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it was a funny transition, but a transition that I knew I wanted to make because I wanted to go to St. Anthony since my freshman year.
Mm. What was it about St. Anthony's in middle school that made you want to go there?
Coach Hurley, one, obviously, like being able to be all my friends. We went to his summer camp. Like we always
Mm.
every year was competitive. Like he watched us play. Like he complimented us. Like he seen our games. Like so I felt like it was a good spot. But then two, like my friends, like literally my faces friends, all my faces friends with the St. Anthony. So Shaquan Gibb, Jagan Mosley, Adrian
Mm-hmm.
Ray, like all of them went to St. Anne's.
Mm.
Why not play with the people that I've played with since I was 7 years old
Mm. Indeed, indeed.
and have an
Now
opportunity?
let's take a look at your St. Anthony time, man. Sophomore season, man. How was it your first year under the general, man? And what was the kind of adjustments you had to make coming from Newark Tech to going there?
It was a super hard adjustment. The first adjustment was playing for Coach Hurley. That was the first one.
Uh-huh.
Screaming and yelling, the antics, like everything. I just like obviously I had my dad, so like I was kind of used to it, but it's just like it was different. I felt like it was a lot of pressure. He's a Hall of Famer. Like it's a lot going on with that, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then I go in. I'm not starting right away. Like I had to
Mm.
my spot. And the first is crazy because my first introduction to St. Anthony's my sophomore year. We played against St. Pat's, and I'm not even
Mm.
get this. Like we played against St. Pat's in fall ball, and Bryce Aiken, he was killing me. Get mad at that. Like it helped me. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Early's there. I looked at him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm looking for like a way out. Like tell somebody to switch, you know." And he looked at me, and he said, "No, like you gotta stay on him." So I'm like,
Mm.
he told me after that game, like, if you expect to get on the floor here, you gotta become a defender. You gotta play some defense. That's the only way you're gonna get on the floor.
Wow.
I'm like, you know what? I took that to heart. I took it personal. Like,
Mm.
okay, cool. I gotta do what I do. I gotta do to get on the floor. Like, it ain't about just scoring. Like, that's what I was. I was a scorer. So like,
Mm-hmm.
I had to lock in and if I wanted to, make something happen for myself, I had to listen to coach.
Did they still have like the jersey thing in practice? I remember looking at one of his documentaries and reading one of the books, and it said like you guys pick,
Like,
already know who's going to be playing because they
yeah.
got a certain kind of jersey, and if you ain't got that jersey on in practice, you definitely not playing or something like that.
Nah. I mean, the only I would just say like you were wearing white in practice or you were wearing maroon in practice. If you're on a maroon team, you're on that's the starter side. If you're on the white team, you're on the bench. That was the only thing I got. I don't know if I.
Okay. Yeah, it was something that I read about in a book, probably some of the early years. And during that sophomore year, man, y'all made a run, and that's when I really like. I knew he was a great coach, but when
Mhm.
I saw that team that year and y'all made a run, and I remember watching the state championship game at my birthday party, my
Okay.
40th birthday party. I'd never forget. Me and my friends was there, and y'all was playing against Briscoe and them, and I remember like wanting them to win because I wanted Briscoe to get a state title, and they was playing y'all, and I knew y'all had time because y'all was young.
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, they really about to knock these dudes off.
Yeah. That, that was a tough year, man. I think that year we went 28-2 or something like that. That year,
Mm,
our two losses were to Roselle Catholic. One early in the season, and
mm,
second loss was in the state championship to them, where it was a very winnable game. It came down to last minute, 2 minute things where like there were times where you could just tell who wanted it more, and
mm.
I think Roselle Catholic just wanted it more than us. There was times where I could have done something better. I didn't do like it was just you can tell we were young. You can tell we were a young team. Like and again, like you said, we had time.
How did he get y'all prepared for that being so young?
And it's you got to be prepared. You know what I mean? He has much like expectations for you. Like and
Mm,
he's not one of the best for no reason. He was our grind. Like and like
mm,
everyone says, like practices were always harder than the game. So
mm.
like we go through the crazy practices just so that like we take out all that anger on their teams. And like we knew again, like it's a state championship, it's Roselle Catholic, a very talented team. Like if we weren't going to be up for the challenge, we were going to get blown out. So we had to be ready.
Indeed. All right, let's go into that junior year, man. Things started to come together for you. The confidence started to flowing. Averaged 10 points a game, third team all state. Led the team to the state and TOC title and number 4 in the nation. Take me through that year coming off that loss. Did that motivate y'all when that new year started?
Yeah, I think it's funny because I can say for Jagan, like Jagan Mosley, he changed his number that year from 4 to 0.
I remember that.
0 was because he didn't have a state championship. So like
Mm,
he just wanted something like to keep him going that year, And he was one of the best players in the state that year for sure.
I remember that. First
Um,
team in our state.
yeah,
Yeah.
he did his thing. But now, yeah, we definitely were motivated. Like again, we were a core group. We had enough. We knew that we could win with. And then I think that year Asante gets transferred in, so he's a state champion. Like he helped us out. And then we just built together, man. Like when you're around, we stay in the gym all year. We knew that like winning a championship was our goal. And all those guys, I was a junior that year, so all those guys were seniors. So like they were not trying to leave without a championship, you know. So
Mm.
they didn't want to be a class, a group of guys that didn't want to have a championship. And I think that motivated us throughout that whole year. Like we beat everybody by I think a margin of like 28 points.
Yeah,
Like
y'all was smacking teams. Y'all ran into Saeed and them down there. Was that personal when y'all caught them down?
I won't say it's personal, but it was one of those games where like so we had one of our point guards, he wasn't available for the game, and coach was like, "Yo, you got Saeed," and I'm like, "Oh, all right, cool." Like I kind of know him already, you know, but like he was killing that year, so like I had to like really lock in. And,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just blessed, you know, being in that position that coach like trusted me to be on that assignment. Because again, Saeed was averaging 30 that year or something. Like he was killing, you know what I
Yes,
mean?
he was. Yes, he was.
That was a crazy game, obviously, and you know we won that year as well. But like it's testament to all the work that we put in that year and in the years before, to you know have that year that we had that year, special year.
The TOC and the state championship, man.
Yeah.
What was those moments like? First winning that state title. Now you had one with North Tech, and then you came and got it with Coach Hurley, and now you got your name on one of them state titles for him, man. How did that feel at that moment?
It was a great feeling for two reasons. You know, the first is to be like have an opportunity to complete a special season, obviously not losing that year, and just to do it and be a part of history, you know. And then the second thing was to do it with my group of guys that I played with since I was young. You know, that was a special moment, um, and I think that was just one of the best feelings ever. You know, having a chance to do it at a prestigious high school and then do it with the people you grew up with. I think there's no better feeling than that.
What is that TOC? You had experienced that state title feeling, you know what I'm saying, with North Tech. And but how did it differ from that TOC feeling?
The TOC was different because of like once you win the TOC, like like you're the best team in New Jersey. Oh, you know that for sure. Win that, like you're the best team in New Jersey for sure. As a fact, like no one can take that away from you. So it was obviously a different feeling, a different animal, really. Just there's a lot of I think I asked too. There's a lot of pressure, to just be a part of history. Like I think we're like one of I don't want to lie, and I think we're like one of like 8 teams that are like had a perfect season for Coach Hurley. Like so it was a lot riding on that TOC win. So like being able to finish it off, it was a special moment. And again, like we're one of the teams that could say we're a part of history.
Did y'all ever compare yourselves to any of those other undefeated squads?
Yeah, we have. I think we had a couple comparisons. I want to say like I personally think we're like top 3 for sure.
Wow, top 3?
Top 3,
Yeah.
4. Top 3, 4.
Hold up.
I'm not knocking like all the teams that we had in our, but like
hold up. Y'all definitely not better than his son team, Bobby Hurley's Jr. Y'all not better than them.
I'm not saying that. Listen, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I think
top 3 though. They had some good teams. So you got Hurley in them, the senior,
Mike Rosario in them.
Mike Rosario in them. They was good. They was undefeated. They was national champs.
Yeah,
did they win the national title?
Yeah, they had a bunch of teams. Don't get me wrong.
Anderson and them.
I'm saying we're at least top 4, top 5 at least.
Okay, all right. Top 3 tough though. RJ, top 3 is tough. They had some squads. Top 3 is tough.
But I'm saying as far as like our roster goes, like 5, we had our starting 5 or whatever, and then we came off the bench and we had like it was like we had a whole another team on the bench. Like, so we were missing that year. We also missed Caleb. We were missing Caleb Bishop because he got hurt for the year. And then we also were missing out on Samson George, who the NJSIA ruled him ineligible because nobody wanted him to be on our team, basically because that was just going to be not fair.
I'm gonna have to when I bring Coach Gamble on, man, I'm gonna have this conversation. We're gonna have this conversation. I'm glad that you brought this up because I was thinking that. Like, where do y'all feel y'all rank? And I'm gonna have him. That's gonna be one of the things. Ben, That's one of the things I'm gonna have you. You're gonna have to rank these top St. Anthony teams.
No, I'm for sure. I'm confident. I'm confident enough.
Oh, I love it. 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 Also, during that time, you know what I'm saying? Your high school years, we still on the senior year. Oh, see, we got all excited about the championships like it was over. You get to that senior year, man, and I remember reading an article in the newspaper, and he was talking about that it was gonna be on your shoulders this year now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the only senior coming out, man. What's your mindset going into that season? And then you move to like the off guard spot a little bit. So what's your mindset going into that season?
That year, obviously, like you said, he broke it down and he told me everything I had to do for us to be successful that year. I think for me, that was just a testament of just grinding it out. You know, like sophomore year, tough. Junior year, found my rhythm a little bit. Like we won a championship. And senior year, he's just like all out, gave me the keys. And for me, like to pay him back that, you know, that opportunity to head the ship on the St. Anthony team, like I had to make sure that everything I did that year was like personal. Like I wanted to make sure like guys knew who I was. Like that year too, like my college thing, like offers and things were kind of iffy. Like I felt like I should have been a McDonald's All-American. Like I felt
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the confidence.
There was a lot going on that year that like I just wanted to make sure that like no matter what happens, like I left it all out on the court. And again, like he gave me the keys. So like what better way to pay him back than to have a year that I had.
And how do it feel when like, because I seen guys when you got the keys to his joint, he set it up for you beautiful. You want to get them open looks. Like how did it feel knowing he had that confidence in you?
It was great. You know, I slowly seen the confidence in me like my sophomore year, and it got better my junior. I started seeing it like time to even tell you like you can see it. Like he started to trust me more and more as the years went by, game by game. So like seeing here, you can just tell like it was just like, yeah, I have RJ Cole on my team. Like we're gonna be good. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that because like that doesn't come by easily and it doesn't come by often, especially not for a Hall of Fame coach. You know?
Yeah. So let's check out some of your senior year, man. Check out some of the highlights from your senior year.
Yeah, it's against Northeast side. Yeah.
Patting RJ. Patting RJ, man. That's King Wright's son at the point, ain't it?
Yeah.
That was King Wright's son at the point, right?
Yeah. That's I used to be at Northeast Side all the time. We used to practice there. Like my dad was there. So
so that was like a home court for you.
Familiar, very, very familiar. I was familiar with the coaching staff for sure.
Get up off me, Get up off me. That had you looking like your faces days scoring the rock, bro.
Man, tell me about it. I loved every second of it too.
Indeed, man. That's why I love doing this, going down these memory lanes, man. You know what I'm saying? And then also during that time, man, you was rocking with. Let's talk about summing up your St. Anthony's career, man. And hold up, before we get to that point, I remember that year going to see y'all play the heavily favored Hudson Catholic, and y'all almost knocked them off. And I'm at Rutgers like, yo, this dude, don't tell me he about to knock these dudes off too. And the only senior he got is RJ, and they had a loaded crew. How did y'all almost do that, bro?
I mean, again, when you got Coach Hurley as your coach, you're gonna be in any game, no matter what. As long as you listen to the game and you do the correct things, like and minus the mistakes, like you're gonna be in the game, especially having a chance to be a part of his team. That's a tough year though, man, because like I think we got big headed because we beat them in the summertime. Like so he just felt, and also too like the guys that I played with never been in that position before. If we're being totally honest, like I was a lone senior, not even lone senior, but like I was the top senior, but like again, we didn't have a group of guys that like have ever been in that position. I was the only one that has been in that position at all. So it's like you asking a bunch of young dudes to go in there against a heavily talented team. It's not even about having them be there or not. Like they're a talented team. They were some of the best players in the country, not even just the state. Like it was a tough. We were in the game. It was a tough way to go out.
I was there. I'm like, yo, they about to steal this joint right here on the low. And that's one thing I have to say about him. If he's gonna always have his teams in there. If he got less talent than you, he gonna make it a dog fight. If it's even, he usually win.
Yeah.
And if he got more talent with it, he just gonna blow you out.
Sure.
So like,
I mean, that sums it up, really, honestly speaking, like seriously.
Indeed. So you know what I mean? So give me the summary of your career there, bro. Like when you think about it, what was your career at St. Anthony's like?
I think I'll describe it in one word, to be honest. Like really two. I say a privilege and a blessing. You know, I have an opportunity to again play with some of my best friends. Two, to play for a Hall of Famer, and to have his trust. Yeah, just a blessing and a privilege, man. Like not many people can say like they play for their dream high school, or like no one can, not many people are doing that.
That's dope.
So yeah, I just say a privilege and a blessing.
Indeed. Also during that time, man, you was still kicking it up with the players. You know what I'm saying? EYBL status. Didn't y'all have a special squad around that time too?
Yeah, we were the same team, really. Me, Leandre, Jameer. I know we had Jawan Daniels, I want to say we had that year. Who else we have? Eli Barnes, Jameer Thomas. Like we were a very solid team. I'm not going to say we were like we almost made it a pool play that year in the EYBL. We had a good team, man. We were small too. We were on the smaller side compared to some of these other teams. But we had a pretty good group, I would say, for sure.
How was the experience of playing in the EYBL and the Peace Jam and all? Like how was that experience?
It was a great experience. It's like playing against the best of the best. Like all these teams are, a Nike team, obviously, and all these teams are putting together their best roster. Like their absolute best roster. Like you can play with. It was like getting so bad. Like you could be playing with one team one weekend, and then you'll see them that same player on another team like the next weekend. So like EYBL was super competitive, and like it was just a bunch of pros going at it. And I sum it up as like a bunch of pros going at it, because everybody you played against on the EYBL is either playing at a high level in the NBA or playing at a high level in Europe.
What was one or two of your best battles you had on the EYBL with the players, like that you might remember?
One of my favorite, I would say, we played against Mocan Elite that year. They had Trae Young and Michael Porter. And then another one, I would just say like just the whole session that we had when we played in Brooklyn. That was a super successful session, because we went 4-0 that session, I think, too, and not many people had us doing anything like that. So
I remember that. I said, yo, the players find a way, no matter what team they got, to get things done, man. Sure. I remember that, man. I definitely remember that, man. So let's talk about now, man. Playing for your father.
Yeah.
Take me there, man, because I remember them. This guy coming in the thing, always serious, like RJ.
Yeah.
And y'all doing y'all chant PTA. Talk about it, man. What did it mean to you to have a father like that? And it's a blessing to have a father that was in your life like that. But let me hear from you, man. What did it mean to you?
It meant a lot because he was a person that put the ball in my hands.
Mm,
Being able to be again, I was fortunate enough to see him play in his later years. Um,
mm-hmm,
the hype around him as well, like how everybody used to tell me stories about him. And honestly, like all I can say is like I just wanted to live up to that. I feel like it was a lot of expectation, playing for my dad and having him as my dad, like going on the court every night. Like I just want to live up to the expectation that he had for me, and every expectation that everyone else had for me, knowing that who my dad was. Um, he was
talk
a
about that a little bit on what's the other side of it, the tough part of it, because when people see a kid playing for his father, everybody just starts yelling out "Daddy Ball," and they start thinking that it's all peaches and cream. What's
yeah.
the whole shebang of the situation?
Uh, it wasn't easy, like it wasn't easy at all. And also too, to your point of the daddy ball, it's like if I wasn't good, my dad
Mhm,
had me out there. Like
mhm. I know how he is, bro.
like like if I wasn't a good player like my dad, he would have worked with me obviously. But like if I wasn't ready to go out there and play, I would never have seen the floor for him.
Mm,
But like with that being said, like yeah, he was tough. Like he demanded a lot. Like if it wasn't his way, like it was, he demanded a lot, like every coach does. It's just not
mhm,
that. But again, on the flip side of it, like he was a guy that like people wanted to play for. Like
mhm,
one better, he got the best out of them. Like people that left are they want to come back because they know like yeah, like playing for him it was a blessing. Like and they got him, he got them better. He got them to be
mm.
yeah. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it was the best of both worlds for me. Him having as me as my father, and him being my coach.
All right. Next up, plan for Coach Hurley.
Um, Man, I kind of want to say like it was similar. Like a demanding guy. He like, obviously, but he had all of the championships and the he was a Hall of Famer. Like so, it was a lot of expectation for sure playing for him. But like again, like it was somebody you want to play for. He's going to go to battle for you. He was a great guy off the court. Like he didn't just, also too, he didn't just teach us about like basketball. Like he was a great life coach. Like
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
he helped a lot of people, not go into, um, down a certain wrong path. Like he was just he was one of those great guys that I'm happy I had the opportunity to play for. And I loved every second of it to learn from him for sure.
I got to get your dad on here. I don't know if my coach might be a little too high for me to get him on here. I hope I could get him one day. But I'm gonna try to get your dad on here because I got to see if this all was planned when y'all was like young. Because the way he coached, y'all
Yeah.
was tailor made to go there.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, my dad had a plan for sure. He'll tell you,
Okay. Yeah, because I'm looking at the way he coached,
man.
and then all you guys end up going there. Y'all was tailor made to play for a coach like that.
It was definitely it was written for sure. It was definitely written.
Okay. This portion of the In the Spotlight podcast is brought to you by the Fight Against Fentanyl Classic. October 20th, Basketball Spotlight will bring the second annual Fight Against Fentanyl Classic. We will have the top players in high school players in Mercer County playing against the top players in South Jersey. The proceeds of the event will be donated to the New Hope Behavioral Health Adolescent Unit. And last year we raised over $3,000 from this event, and with the help to give our kids extra resources and expose them to different things outside so they can learn how to live sober and don't become a victim of this vicious fentanyl cycle right now. The Fight Against Fentanyl Classic, we are going to start posting, and we will have chances for you guys to donate if you want to donate to this event. And if you want to come out, stay tuned as we bring you more information from the Fight Against Fentanyl Classic. Selecting Howard University, man.
Oh man, that's like a special one for me because they gave me an opportunity that a lot of teams didn't give me. Uh,
Mm,
they were my first offer coming out of high school, and
mm,
honest, like when I first got the offer, I'm like, what is Howard? Like I'm not going there. But like Coach Nickelberry, he gave me a chance. He showed me that he cared. He came to literally every single AAU tournament I had that year. And if he didn't make it, he sent his assistant. So he only missed one tournament. But like he just showed me that, that he wanted me to, to be there, and he told me the same thing like Coach Hurley, basically, like, I'm giving you the keys. Like I felt like it was my senior year all over again in high school. Like he said, I'm giving you the keys, and I don't think he knew I was gonna do what I did when I was there.
Yeah, you went ham.
I don't think
you went ham. You went ham.
I don't think he do all that, but like he definitely gave me the keys to do something special.
Was the parties lit when you went on your visit?
For sure, it was. I had a great time on my visit, for sure.
Indeed, I used to party down DC when I was young, man. So I know how it is down there. This is a whole different type of vibe. I used to party down there, man. So that's dope. He gave you the keys, man. So let's look at your frosh year, man. MEAC, Rookie of the Year. ECAC, Rookie of the Year. Averaged 24 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals. Scored 30 points. He came out. I know we're going through a storm right now, so hopefully he'll get back on soon. You there?
My apologies.
Yeah, I know it's a storm going on right now. Somebody probably tried to call you. Somebody probably trying to call him on his phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scored 30 points 5 times, including 42 points versus NC Wilmington.
Yeah.
Take me through that freshman year, bro. Did you was it too easy?
No, I'm not even gonna say it was too easy. I just felt like I had something to prove.
Talk about it. We getting there now.
You got something to prove. Like, you're gonna do whatever. You're gonna put the nation on notice. And I feel like I did that year, because I felt like, in a lot of ways, like, simply put, I shouldn't have been at Howard. Like, I don't think I should have been there. I'm happy I went there. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think I should have been there. I think I was one of the best players in the country that year. One of the best players in the state, if not the best. Like, I don't think I should have been in that position. I just wanted people to understand, like, what they missed out on.
After that freshman year, did you receive any interest? I know you stayed the sophomore year. We're gonna get into that, but did you receive any interest to transfer out of there?
No, I didn't even look into it after my freshman year.
Okay. So let's get into that sophomore year, man. MEAC Player of the Year. First team all ECAC. I know you was MEAC first team because he was Player of the Year. Average 22 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. 36 points on 7 trades and 7 assists versus Norfolk State. You just went in there on another level that sophomore year?
Yeah, I had 2 goals that year. One, so my freshman year I did all that, everything I did, but we were a losing team. And I've never been a part of losing teams like that. So I feel like that freshman year was just just make a statement, Then my sophomore year, I wanted to do that same, have that same impact, but I wanted to win. Had a much better year that sophomore year, and then 2, they always call the sophomore slump, and I didn't want to become a victim of that. So I just wanted to show that. I wanted to show people that it wasn't a fluke.
Talking about it. So let's take a look at some of your highlights, man. I picked out the game. I think this was your sophomore year. It was against Georgetown.
Yep, that's my sophomore year. Yeah.
Mike Millen, I'm old, but I'm doing good.
And thereby, here come the Bison. And Cole picks it up and counts. Well, this young man, you're going to hear his name a lot. Mid-range jump shot can serve you well. On the pull-up.
The same shot, man.
Outside, letting it rip is R.J. Cole. 10-4 Howard. Is Caleb Johnson. Got in cleanly, couldn't finish it off. Cole streaking to the basket, goes right hand and scores.
Well, he loves the game. And, he's the kind of guy who even when he stopped playing, as you watch Cole with the pull-up.
Cole has the last 10 points for Howard. Their leading scorer, Cousins. That's good. Howard gets back at 9 on the shot clock. Cole, pull up just below the foul line. He's got a nice touch. Okay, with the rebound. Stealing it. He does.
Get an idea of who you can play, who you can trust as we get ready for Big East.
The right hand, the lefty.
RJ Cole, the scouting reporters force him right because he's a strong, dominant lefty guard, but
Man, that sophomore year was, yeah, for sure.
Now you on there going against Georgetown and them, and you putting up these kind of numbers. That's when you just was like, man, this is like, it's time for me to get out of here, or like, how did you even come up with the decisions to transfer?
If we are being honest, like I did want to transfer after my freshman year, but I didn't. So like, I didn't feel comfortable enough to transfer because we weren't a winning team. Like I don't want to be like something like that. So I wanted to at least, get us to a different level that sophomore year. The decision to transfer too also came down to my coach getting fired. He got fired. And he was the guy who brought me in. So like, I wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for him. So for me personally, it was like, well, why should I stay? If 2 years where I was playing really well, like, and I can have an opportunity to, play at a higher level and have a chance to either do the same things potentially or just have a higher impact on my team.
How did you pick UConn and who else was trying to get you?
So that year transferring, I was really transferring because I wanted to go to Seton Hall. So coming out when I went into the transfer portal, the first school that contacted me was Alabama, and that was the year they had got Nate Oates as their coach for his first year. So I would have been part of his first recruiting class. I almost committed on my visit. Like that was one of those, like, I loved how they would have used me. Like they shoot a lot of threes. Like they allowed their players to play freely. Like everything just was set up for me. Like for my game, I felt like, and I was going to commit. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just go on my UConn visit. Mind you, UConn is also my dream school since I was 10 years old.
The Most High was blessing you, man.
Yeah. So I went on my visit, and it was just like, as soon as I got to my visit, like I got on campus, stepped foot, I was just like, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like I felt it. Like I had this, like, something overcame me, and I was just like, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like I didn't even allow myself to go on my visit to Seton Hall. Or my visit to Arkansas. Like I didn't allow any of that because like I just felt like UConn was where I was supposed to be.
Did plan for Hurley's son, did that come into effect? And was that something that your dad talked to you about, that he was there and it'd be a good fit for you to go there?
To be honest, like if we're being honest, like my dad wanted me to go to Alabama. He's seen the same things I seen. Like he felt like it was a perfect fit for me. But again, he knew on the flip side that where I was really going to pick. But like I would say a huge part of me going, obviously the number one reason, my dream school, like number one reason for sure. But like 1B and 1C reason would be like playing for Coach Danny Hurley. Obviously I played for his dad, so like there was some type of relationship already there without me having a relationship with him, So I felt like I would have, I could trust him in a way. On the other side of it too was Coach Kamani Young. He was at UConn.
My guy, man.
And as you know, he's with New Heights. And we had so like I felt like I was going into a great situation with two people I could trust.
That's such confidence in yourself to look at a school like Alabama and see they're gonna play me into all my strengths. But I'm so nice that I want to go to my dream school because I know I'm good enough anyway. Like I don't even know like what's gonna be there, but that's the school I want to go to. That's supreme confidence in yourself, man. And with going to UConn, did Coach Hurley, the father, did he get involved? Did he talk to you guys about coming there, or he just or he didn't get involved in none of the process?
From my knowledge, I know I didn't talk to him really about it. I don't know if like my dad talked to him, but from my knowledge, he didn't even try to get involved. He just let me, make my own decision.
Yeah, that was a grown man decision right there. Let's talk about that junior year. 12 points and 4 assists a game, 16 double-figure games. How was the adjustment of going from the MEAC to playing in the Big East, man? And how long did it take you to get adjusted?
It was tough that year, for multiple reasons. Obviously, my first year in a new conference, higher. My role was different. I had to do more for this team than I had to do when I was at Howard. Expectations, obviously. It took me a while to get to where to even get to that a confident point at UConn my junior year. I want to say my confidence came. Coach Hurley benched me 2 games. He benched me. We played against Providence at home. At their home. He benched me, and the second game right after that, he benched me again against Xavier. And Xavier was a game I had scored, I think, like 24 or something like that, and we won. And that was a year during COVID, so like there was no fans. Like
that was rough for everybody.
So it was a lot going on that year. But like that game against Xavier, that was when my confidence like went up, because right after that, like I had like 20 something against Marquette right after that. Like it was right when that happened, I felt like I was trending in the right direction. And then, we made it to the Big East semifinals, and then I went out with a concussion.
Now, go ahead, finish. Go ahead and finish.
No, I was gonna say we should have won. We should have won that game, obviously, but I went out with like the last 3 minutes of the game. We were up, and I went out with a concussion, and it kind of just went downhill from there. First round in the NCAA tournament for the first time.
I saw that. Yeah.
We lost. So
now in the part when you was getting adjustment and you was trying to find your role, did it ever come into your mind like, damn, I should have went to Alabama?
Multiple times, for sure.
And it's cold. It was probably cold up there too. And
struggling, and you see like how well the other team is doing. Like you're watching their games, you see how the players are playing. You just like, man, like I should have went there. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Couple times.
All right, so let's get into that senior year, man. Senior year, I had to get the flexing when you flexing, because you was first team all Big East.
Yeah.
16 points, 4 assists a game. What clicked during that senior year?
Like once you have a year where you know how you play in one place for a year, like, and it's just like your adjustment year.
Yeah.
It's just like that next year. It's like, all right, yeah, I seen what I seen already, and now it's just time to like lock it in. You know what I mean? I felt like that year I was going into a different mindset. Like I knew it. I technically had another year after that year, but at that time, like that was going into my 5th year of college. Like, so I'm like, man, this is it for me. Like, so I had that mindset where it's like I'm playing my best basketball because I do not want to come back for another year.
Why you ain't want to come back?
I did 5 years of school. I was
because of the COVID stuff. But the next year is when they won the national title, right?
I'm happy for them. Don't get me wrong. But like I told everybody else, like I don't think I was supposed to be there. I felt like my years were supposed to be me helping this team, helping UConn, the program, get back to being a nationally relevant team. We were ranked twice in my 2 years there. My 3 years, I was there 3 years, but I sat out my first year. But 2 years of playing, we were ranked almost all season. Like people were talking about us again. Like we made it back to the tournament. We lost both times in the first round, but like we made it back to the tournament. 2016, like, so that I think that was supposed to be my journey, helping UConn.
So you helped them bring the program back to life.
Yes, I think I think that's all to do personally.
I respect that, young fella. I respect that, and we about to take a look at that last 2021-22 season, man. Check you out here.
Lane with the left hand. Great step line. Look at it like a greyhound in the front court.
Get this team back into it and cut this lead under 10.
There's Cole, and there's part of it. Slater with 10. Cole inside.
carve their way here, UConn. A little hurry. Step back. Martin three. Cole rebound. Cole penetrates with the left hand off the window. Cole deep. You're right. Drops it off. Sanogo back out to Cole for three to cut it to one. And it does. Nice little fade. We approach 3 minutes. Cole on a runner. Got it to go. Cole uses the screen. He's got that jumper. Cole with 120 on the dribble. The drive, the right hand off the window.
Talk about it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was just in the rhythm that year, man. Like, it's funny because like a lot of people were like, you should have stayed at UConn. You should have did this. I mean, at Howard, you should have did this. You should have did that. But no one knows that like I had to do so much for this team that like my role looked completely different than what it was at Howard. Like at Howard, I was the scorer. I was the man. I was like doing everything scoring. I was what I was doing. UConn, I had to score. I had to play defense. I had to play the best guard or whatever on the team. I was defending. I had to get everybody in position to be successful. I had to be a leader. Like I had to do so much for this team that like everyone is totally I'm not even thinking about that. Like if my role was to just score at UConn, I feel like I could have did the same. I could have averaged 20 maybe. That wasn't my role, and I had to do so much more. And I feel like I over exceeded my role. Like I averaged 16 a game, first team All Big East. Like I can't ask for anything more than that.
That's what I was about to say. Like, not for nothing. No disrespect to Howard and the MEAC because you killed there, but I don't think that tournament is like killing in the Big East tournament, man.
Not even close. I mean, if we being real, not even close. But
that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. You was like, I'm looking at them highlights, and I remember watching you play. Like, it used to be my joy, bro, to sit down and back then I was still drinking and stuff. Like I'm 5 years sober from alcohol. From all that time that I was down there with you guys, I was going through a situation where my wife got murdered and everything. Like y'all was just playing and I was doing basketball spotlight. You guys had no idea during that whole time I had a case like that over my head. You know what I mean? So now when y'all get into college, I'm sitting back chilling, just watching y'all, like to see you playing against Saeed, and then you playing against somebody else at the Big East, somebody else that's from the spotlight. Just watching that. I love that, bro. Like who playing tonight? And I could watch two of the kids from basketball spotlight banging out in on TV. You know what I'm saying? On the highest level. And y'all look the same, y'all looked when y'all was playing.
Got facial.
You get what I'm saying? That was dope for me, man. That was dope. But for playing on that level, people can't compare those two. It's like they say, man, it's levels to this, man.
Yeah.
It's levels to this, man. So let's check it out, man. Your UConn career and playing for Coach Danny Hurley, man. Talk to me about it.
Man, like I feel like I get like goosebumps even talking about it. Like it was such a surreal moment to have the opportunity to play for my dream school. To play for now like one of the best college coaches out there. He's won 2 back-to-back championships. Like he's doing it at a level that like it speaks for itself. I feel like there's a reason why people go and want to play for Coach Hurley. He brings the best out of us. He's a player's coach. And like I said, I'm just happy they gave me the opportunity to be a part of something special, you know, like the UConn brand, having the opportunity to help UConn become relevant again. It was a special moment in my career for sure.
When you compare playing for the father and playing for him, what are the similarities and what are the differences?
I feel like the difference between the two, obviously the age. I think I got the version, like he'll tell you, Coach Danny Hurley will tell you too, like I got the version of Coach Hurley Sr. that was like going out the door, he was older, so like the antics weren't there as much. But he was obviously still a great coach, and I got the version of Danny that I feel like everyone got Bob Hurley Sr. when he was younger.
Mm.
Like it was just kind of a role reversal, in my but like again, like there was two great coaches, man, like winners, great guys. And two people that when I was playing, I was always giving my best for. I was laying it all on the line for them too, for sure.
How do you feel like he's able to get you guys to buy into such a team concept when so many kids are stuck on being individuals and having their own social medias and their own images, their own brand?
He was
That helps keeps kids buying in like that.
He was big on like he hated individuality. Like he did not like it at all, and he'll tell you to your face. Like I don't like he didn't like the whole social media thing. Like he didn't like it, and I think like if you want to be a part of something special, that's who you're gonna go play for. Like he gave us a be a part of something special, and two, like if you want to win, you get behind him. Like you want to win, like he's gonna take you. He's gonna take you somewhere. Like he's gonna get you to where you want to go. He's showing it day in and day out. He has lottery picks. He has NBA draft picks right now. Like the guy, it speaks for itself. Like if you want to play, if you want to win, and you want to play at a high level, and you want to make it, with your career, like if you want to get the best out of your situation in college, like he's somebody you want to play for.
How close are you still with him and with the program? Like, were you around them when they won these 2 national titles? Were you at the games, or do you go up there and watch the games? Like, how close are you with the program?
I'm still in the program for sure. Coach Kamani, Coach Hurley, they text me here and there to see how I'm doing. I check in on them. My first year overseas, I went back to a game. It was like all love, like from the fans, from the coaches, like the players, like everything was great. I stay in contact with some of the players now. Like I was helping out Hassan Diarra this year, a national champion, 2-time national champion. I was helping him out. I was in his ear from time to time when he needed some advice. So I'm definitely around. I was just there this past summer. This summer right here. I was up there for like a day. I seen some of my old teammates, like Alex Caravan. So I'm still a part of the program for sure. I think once you go into it, like there's no way you're gonna be out of it.
Most High just gave me a vision of after your playing days, you getting on that bench with them guys, man.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie, like
I seen that. I could see that.
Yeah, no, coaching is something like that's something I want to do. Definitely college coaching. Like I either that or like having my own AU team for my nephew. Like I feel like he's for me. Like so, I definitely want to get behind the sidelines and give off a lot of the wisdom that I learned. From my dad, Coach Hurley, Danny here, like all that wisdom that I got. I want to be able to pass it off to somebody else.
All right, we almost done, young fella. Let's talk about your professional career, man. Take me to the teams you played for, like what countries you were in, and like what were some of your best experiences?
So coming out of college, my first year overseas was in Greece. A team called Lavrio, first division Greece. A great experience. I want to say I was probably averaging like 14 a game with them. I played with them up until April. And in that same year, I was able to get a buyout and go to another team in Germany for a month to help them finish and stay in the league, in the German BBL league, the first division out there. And I want to say I played 9 games, and I want to say I averaged 14 as well. I want to say in those 9 games. And so with that first year playing for 2 teams, I was blessed and fortunate enough that my play as well as my agents put me in position to go play for Rytas Vilnius in Lithuania for my second. And within that second year, we played in Basketball Champions League, which is one of the best European competitions in Europe. You got Euro League, Euro Cup, Basketball Champions League, and then FIBA Europe Cup. one of the best. And I had a pretty up and down season. In my second year, I got hurt twice. I tore my right hamstring, so I was out for like a month, and I strained my left one like a month and a half later. So I had some ups and downs. I was going through a lot mentally, but it ended up all coming together in the end because I ended up bouncing back, and we ended up winning the Lithuanian league. We beat what they call the best team in Lithuania, which was a EuroLeague team. We beat them 3-1 in the championship this past season, and I'm fortunate enough to renew my contract with them and be going back to them for my third year.
Congratulations on that. Coming out of UConn and being first team All Big East, most players have NBA aspirations. When that didn't come to fruition, how did you handle that? Did you expect that, and how did you handle it when it didn't come to fruition?
I definitely didn't expect that. I feel like if he went a little bit further in the tournament, things may have happened for me. But not having that opportunity, I played for the Lakers in summer league, and that was probably like the lowest of lows I could be. Like not playing, I've never seen that before ever. Like not touching the floor, like never.
I know you went in the fire everywhere you went.
That was tough. So I want to say, not being in that position before, I kind of did handle it in a way that I probably shouldn't have. But I mean, everything's a learning experience, I'm happy that it happened because it humbled me in a way. But also too, going into that summer, like I took it out on like playing in the summer leagues and everything, like my pro-ams in New Jersey. Everything I did that summer was personal for me. Like everybody I played against, like it didn't even matter. And then I was one of those guys that like didn't want to go overseas. But like also too, like when my agent was laying out to me about the G League, and I'm just like, this doesn't sound like something I want to do. Just sitting in the G League all year, potentially not ever gonna see it. Like I'd rather just go.
It's tough, man. It seemed like when players be sitting there, man, they be putting in mad work, scoring like 50 and 48 and 40 and 47 and 39, and then they still don't never get called up. And I said to one of my friends, I would probably go crazy in the locker room one night, like, yo, bro, what else do I gotta do? Like, it's like, that's crazy, man.
The problem with that is just like, that's not what the teams want. You know what I'm saying? They don't want that. So it's just like you scoring all of that, then you go talk and you go try to do it. There's other players at the NBA level already that's doing that. So like you're not going to be scoring 40 and 50. That's not going to be your role. So, but again, like I said, I say it humbled me for sure. Obviously, I still want to. I think the NBA is still up for grabs for me. It just has to be the right situation. And if it doesn't happen, I'm fine with that because at the end of the day, I want to play at the highest level, no matter where it's at, whether it's the NBA or whether it's in EuroLeague. So I think one day I will be on one of those two teams.
Let's check out some of your Euro highlights, man. I got some of them too, man. I had to make sure I had some stuff ready for my guy, man.
I appreciate that, man. Good year for sure.
We can't feel which team gets a high percentage looks is going to win this game. As Edwards just getting outside the key, the assist coming from RJ Cole.
Good pass.
Quarterback Kuruc.
Cole. Wow.
It up from Dang. Wow. Now the reach. Ball knocked away. Here's RJ Cole again. Look at Cole. He is in the flow. What a
Modestu Babraičiui, kurie turės dvigubą licenciją. Perimtas kamuolys, Arlauskas iš pražangos, Žanauskas užmeta kamuolį, Liuksą turi Šiauliai irgi.
in the Medusa. Are you kidding me? Atsiprašau.
Klausa turi Šiauliai ir vienoje ir kitoje aikštės pusėje. Kaulas. Kampas aštrus, pavyksta pataikyti. Kaului.
Cole now out, he goes up, throws it down. Well, that's a better connection. And finally,
That was some mean footwork right there, bro. That last one.
Yeah,
Mean
man.
footwork on that last one, man. Yeah, so when you what countries did you like the best? Which one you liked the least? Who had the best food? Who had the worst food? Like, how was that experience off the court?
My favorite country was Greece for sure. I feel like that said it like it in itself. I lived on with my team. I lived on the beach, so like I was like walk out my house and I'd take a 2-minute walk and I'm on the beach. And then also Athens was it's beautiful out there as a city. It's very nice. My least favorite, I won't say least favorite, but I will say I wasn't in Germany long enough. I was only in there for a month, so I didn't really get to experience too much. And then food wise, like I'm a very picky eater, so like also too, like I'm not gonna be like just trying their dishes and all that stuff. So I just find, I just find whatever American food I can. And a lot of people have a lot of American food, especially in Lithuania. I'm in the capital, so like there's a slither of like everything you want: pizza, wings, burgers, like whatever you want.
Okay.
All that stuff where I'm at right now, especially. So like just finding what I like, but pretty much just trying and seeing what I like.
How did you keep in contact, like socially, being at the time differences in those places? Like, how did you adjust? Maybe not being able to talk to people that you love, to talk to people that you knew like often.
That's the hardest part, obviously. You're in a whole other country by yourself. Again, I'm different. You can't really talk to many people. But I mean, for me, I want to say my afternoon, like 2-3 o'clock, is like right when everyone's getting up. So like, I'll talk to my parents at that moment. When they're going to work, or like my 10 o'clock at night, they're calling me at 3 p.m. for their time. So like I'm still up, so I can talk in and there. I got my girlfriend. I was talking to her like all times of the day, trying to figure it out with her. And then my friends, we play video games. So the same, obviously the time difference, but like I'm still up at 10 o'clock and they're up at 3. So like if they're home, we'll hop on a video game. Or like if for the weekends specifically, like if they don't have work on the weekends, we'll be on the game all day. Just finding a balance, and just trying to figure out if I can't talk to them, I'm, going out just by myself, exploring, walking around, go to the movies, grab something to eat, just trying to keep myself busy so I won't just drive myself crazy in the house.
A final question about your professional career. Did you ever deal with any kind of funny business with like not getting paid and teams doing you wrong? Because I heard about horror stories from guys that played overseas and stuff.
No, I've never experienced the worst of the worst. I mean, I think some teams like my teams, they paid like maybe a week or two too late. Like, and also too, like I told a lot of people, like I obviously want to get paid. I want my money, but like I'm playing basketball. Obviously, I'm making money out. I'm doing it for money too. But like I'm playing basketball because I love it. So like I'm not really thinking about why I haven't got my check yet. Like I'm more so worried about why I just played like shit,
I love it.
I ain't thinking about that. Obviously, I want my money, but it's like it's cool. I know I'm gonna get it. Like they have to pay me. You know what I mean? But yeah, I never experienced that. I never had any funny business like with like people trying to kick me off the team or anything like that. Like I think everyone knows I'm a good locker room guy off the court. Like so I don't really run into any funny business like that.
Indeed. Now we're gonna wind it up with a couple of things that college kids are going through right now, and I want to get your response on it. First, let's talk about the NIL. What you think about it?
I think NIL is a game changer. Like for my personal experience, at least, like NIL just came about in my last year of college. So it wasn't like what it is now. And shoot, if it was, I would have took that last year. If I know I'd have been getting paid for my last year, like with NIL, like I would took that last year I had left. But I think it's a good opportunity too. But like also at the same time, I think it is getting a little bit carried away. It's just like because like it's kind of like free agency, you know, like you leave a school and you trying to find another school that offer you more money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Kind of getting out of hand. They do need to filter it a little bit, but at the same time, yeah, people are getting paid to play because we deserve to get some type of compensation for everything we do for 10 months. You know what I mean? Like, so I do think it's a great time, but at the same time, I do think they need to find a way to balance it.
All right. 2 more questions. The transfer portal.
I think that's the worst thing in the game, to be honest. It goes into NIL. It's like now you going to transfer portal because you're looking for a way out. You don't want to stay in the grind. You upset because you're not playing. Like the grass ain't always green on the other side, and a lot of people could tell you that. And 2, again, like the NIL thing, like you're looking for just go somewhere to get some money. And then 2, also another thing I think is tough for high school kids.
I know.
You know what I mean? Because now these guys
because they're not really getting recruited like.
You know what I mean? They're starting to go into that win now mode, and they feel like they can win more with an older player that's coming from somewhere else rather than they can with a freshman that's coming in.
What's the percentage? What's the percentage do you think that players are wanting to transfer on their own to coaches telling them they need to go in the portal?
Ooh. I want to say that's like 50-50. I want to say that's like 50-50 because a lot of players obviously want to leave because they feel like they're not playing, they're getting done wrong, like they don't like their situation. And on the flip side of it, some of these, they just their stay has expired like they don't fit what the coaches want. And again, like coaches want to win now, and they don't want headaches on their team. So they feel like if they feel like you don't fit what they want in their program, they're gonna get rid of you.
Man, that gotta be rough. And I feel sorry for the players that take that chance to go in there and then get stuck, and don't nobody take you out. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, don't have any film. It's hard to get out of there.
Good point.
If you're not touching the floor, it's like how are you really gonna get out? They can go off like obviously if you're on a good team, they can go based off like coach's word or just the fact that you're on a winning team. So that means like you were a part of the culture. You know what I mean? So that means that's good. But other than that, like if you don't have no film, it's hard to get out of a situation.
Next up, in the final one, give me New Jersey Mount Rushmore high school basketball players that you've seen. The best 4.
I included in this or no?
You can put yourself in it, of course, brother.
Right. Sure. That I seen it with my own 2 eyes, right?
That your own 2 eyes.
I'm gonna go me.
Okay.
Isaiah Briscoe. I played against Carl Towns, so Carl Towns. And who have I seen? And again, is this a question for like who I've seen or who I played?
Yeah, who you seen? Who you seen?
Dang, this is tough. For that 4th spot, I'm gonna give it to like Miles Mack.
Interesting. How you pick him?
Because I think he's just so tough. Like he didn't get.
I like that pick.
I feel like a lot of people won't even like think about putting him in there. Like, and I'm doing that just to show my man some respect. Like I love Miles.
I do too. That was an interesting pick. I see that.
He got the job done for Coach Hurley, and he got the job done when he was at Rutgers. Like he was a dog. He was tough.
Who would you say would have been one of your toughest opponents you ever faced?
In New Jersey or just in general?
In general, period.
I feel like a lot of people would say Briscoe, so I'm not gonna say Briscoe. I'm gonna go Trey Young.
I remember I saw him give Quade Green at work in that championship game on the that Final Four game on the not was the Final Four game? One of them games I saw him get him some work, bro. In the EYBL, he was tough.
Playing against him on the circuit, obviously he has Michael Porter too on the same team, but not playing against them, that was some of the toughest hoop he had to play against for sure.
Man. So RJ, man, I want to thank you for coming on, bro. I'm gonna have some text me over your I think I do got your Instagram. So once we get done, I'm gonna send you over the YouTube version of this joint, share it with all your people and stuff. And I'm also gonna be posting clips from the highlights. And we was on an hour and a half, so you're gonna have a lot of highlight clips from this interview. You know what I'm saying, man? Tell your mom and dad I said I still love them, man. And I hope to see them soon, man. And I'm still gonna be looking out for you, man. And once your career over, I can't wait to see you on that sideline, young brother.
Appreciate you for having me, Mike. Nah, it's a pleasure, man. You are the one who paved the path, for a lot of us, hoopers, man. So appreciate you for, going back down memory lane with me for sure.
All right, man. Take care, RJ, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, see you.
All right. Wow, man. The Most High blessed us with another interview, man. This joint with RJ was good, man. And next week, I hope to have a couple of more spotlight people on. And this was a great one, man. And we got through the storm. I thought the power wasn't going to go out like once or twice, but the Most High saw us through. On Thursday night, I got a special guest on the Sober Heads podcast. So stay tuned for that Thursday night. And this is Mike. Enjoy the rest of your night. Shalom.